Okay, hey guys, and welcome to the next episode of how I've been improving in Tilt Brush. So now I went through, I think, 3 more courses. The first one being a very simple one, or each of them being quite short, but the first one specifically being simple because it's about the differences between beginner and advanced mode, which you can switch, I believe, down. Where was it again? Oh yeah, right here. So beginner mode is this. You can see how much different just by looking. You can see there's much less tools to be done. Specifically, the brushes and everything are quite similar. But anyway, I know I'm going to be using advanced because I'm trying to use more advanced tools to make something cool out of it. But some features which were different, for example, was that you can. Well, this is actually pretty interesting. That, for example, the mirror tool. This is not possible in the beginner's mode, but what you can do is there's a little triangle at the bottom right, which means if you hold it, something else pops up. So if I hold it, then there's mirror, and here there's summon mirror. So what happens is basically it makes the mirror summon to you. And I haven't actually covered the mirror tool yet, but as you can see here, basically all it does is when you pick a paint, it mirrors it depending you can turn the mirror at whatever angle you want, but it just mirrors it depending on where you put it. So it would mirror exactly what I do, exactly on the other side. So yeah, this is quite a straightforward tool and a really useful one. For example, if you want to make even, okay, you cannot throw it away. If you want to make even shapes and stuff. Then it requires half the work, and you don't have to be as annoying with like making it perfectly even. Then the next one is now was the first video. Second one was utilities, all about utilities, which is like these tools. And basically, he went over each of them specifically. I've used most of these already, but it's good to go over them, and I think I've learned quite a few new things as well. So first of all, the eraser, which creates it creates a deleting sphere. So it's not like a 2D thing; it's a sphere of deleting. And when you hold a trigger, you can see it turns red and rotates, signifying that it deletes. Let me create an example. So if I go here you can see rather than deleting just the part where you draw, it deletes, as in a lot of drawing applications, professional ones, it actually just deletes the whole line. And this is sort of a thing, and here you could see they were separated, so it deleted them separately. This is sort of a flaw of this, because you cannot really be specific. But for example, if you have, what he said is, if you have many lines, and I want to delete just that one there, if you go to the delete tool, you see that's way too big. You would be deleting everything at once. So either you can zoom in like this, and then this looks very small, so you can get in, or you can also change the size of the deleting tool, as with the brush size like this. So you can go like that. Usually a combination is the best. You do better and then you're really specific. But yeah, that's that. And if you want to get a whole area, it's always better to make a bigger eraser. What's that? Oh, okay, I think I missed the E. It removes the whole line, so as I said before. You can hold it down, so this is actually pretty good. It's obvious one, but it's pretty good. I'm not going to do it now, but if I would go like this, I could hold it across. So I delete all of these small lines, there's like maybe 30, all at once, just by going across it. That's a really useful way to quickly erase. You can undo erasing, so where was it? Here's the undo button, so you can see I'm undoing what I just erased. And you can change size for precision, so as I said, where you can change the size of the eraser. Then the next one's a dropper. So the dropper tool I've actually used quite a lot because I really needed it to write these things in the right sort of size and ratio. So for example, if I come back another day and I've reset, like my brushes are too big or too small or different color and something, I can just go on one of these, click it, and then I have the exact same brush, which is really useful. Or with the titles, I like them to be a bit thicker, so I can have that specifically the same size if I want to. And what else? Yeah, so specifically you can change the line. It changes the line color, size, and font. By font I mean the brush. So it changes to the right brush, just right size, and the right color. It's really useful. Then Recolor, which is this one. I've actually never used this one. This is new to me. So you can see how it looks. Pretty cool. But Recolor lets you change. Oh, I keep missing the e's. Change the color of the line. So let's say I got a blue one here, and a red one here where I made, I don't know, a man, and then his legs, I don't know. I'm just trying to give an example here, and his legs are the wrong color. I can just go and recolor, and it will recolor whatever you want into the same color. So maybe if I drop to this color, and then I recolor, then I'm at that right color, and then I can change the color of the whole line. It's really cool. I never use this, and I'm sure it would have been very useful. For example, let's say I wrote the whole thing, and I decided I actually want everything to look slightly darker or brighter, a different color. I could just select, which I'll talk about later, select all of them, and then recolor them. So now, the next one I think was this. So yeah, first of all, these are all toggles, including the next one, and another one later. By toggle, I mean you turn it on, it stays on, as you can see. The highlight, the white shows it's on, and you can turn it off again. So yeah, that's important. A toggle, I feel like that's a very useful thing, because if you would erase and it would go off like automatically again, that'd be annoying. So yeah, that's quite cool. But you cannot turn it off the way it toggles. And the straight edge tool. So that's the next one. So we've gone over this a bit before, where if you hold at one line and you can go around and let go at the other side, and it creates a perfect straight line across. And yeah, as you would expect it to. Something new that I learned. First of all, this is useful to make more exact shapes. Like if you look at that almost looks like I used, which I'll talk about later, a guide. Like it almost looks perfect. So yeah, it makes things much more easy, especially when you have when you look at it precisely, you can pick it just there at the corner. And it cuts across guides. So now this is what I was talking about. I'm going to talk about guides very soon, but first let me explain this. So this is the guide, as it called it, a panel. When you click this, it's on the more page. It just creates a new panel. This you can bring it around when you move around. As I explained before, it comes with you, and you can even put it up here, which I'll probably do. But what I wanted to explain, so you can toggle guides on and off. But what I want to explain, actually, when you throw them, for a lot of things, even later with the selection tool, when you throw it hard enough with the grip button, it deletes it forever. But here, with the spear, you can change the size of it. But what's cool, the straight edge tool is usually, well, let me turn it off first. Usually, you draw around it, okay? Here you can see. And it actually went across. But anyway, what's cool is that even like when I draw here, I always erase it, but I had a cube, you could see in the beginning of the video. And when I draw, it always sticks to the surface. And here as well, look, I'm quite far away from it, but still sticks to the surface, making it much easier to keep on the shape. Anyway, this is useful. This is useful for making for making like precise shapes and like surfaces. But what I wanted to show. Was, let me put it here, that with a straight edge tool, it goes across it, and that's really cool. I think you can make like very unique art. You can make it like across like this. You can make like axes or something. It's quite cool, I think. Okay, now let's actually go to the guides. Paintbrush sticks to them. So yeah, what I meant is that it sticks to it. Yeah. So you can make a sphere. Here you can see them: a sphere, a cube, an ellipsoid, and a capsule. I've never used these two, and I'm not exactly sure which situations are the best. But since there's such complex shapes, it's quite good that they are here. And a capsule is like, yeah, it's like a cylinder here, and then it ends up with sort of a sphere on the outside. So yeah, that's pretty cool. As I said, you can grip both of them and resize them. And width. Okay, let me explain that. So this is actually quite complicated. I haven't perfected it. So if you go in the middle here and grip with both, it creates the whole size. It changes the whole size. But if you grip on both sides like this, it grips the sides only and not the whole cube. So you can change the width, and you can do this. It's quite difficult for me to do. I don't know why. Wait. Yeah, like that. You have to be perfectly on the edge, but you can grip out and in the edge of it. That's pretty cool. You can separate panel. Yeah, so this is a panel, as I said, you can separate or connect it. And you can toggle them on and off. So let's have a cube here, and you're using it for a bit, and then you want to do something in between it. It's hard to, because of the sticking, and it also might get in your way. So you can just draw in the middle, like that. So yeah. And then you can have more than one shape. So yeah, obviously, well, this is just a clever feature which I implemented. So you can have more than one of the same shape and of different shapes as well. So you could actually permanently, while you're drawing, have shapes everywhere, just to like make an architecture for what you're gonna do. Help you picture it as well, because you can see the transparent edge. So then the next one's the selection tool. Now this is way more complex than you would think. So let's actually draw our own thing here. Okay. So if I go to the selection tool, let's turn the guides off. Let's go step by step. So touch lines get highlighted. So here you can see it's the same as eraser. There's a little sphere. If you touch a line, it goes again by line, not by section, and then gets highlighted. You can see by I don't know if you can see this easily on video, but there's like a neon changing colored highlight on the outside, making it easy to see. Then if you click A while you're not touching it, which you can see here on my controller, when I touch it, there's a sensor making it lighten up. When I click it, it switches everything to black mode, okay? And basically now it's in deselect mode. So whatever I click, which was selected, gets deselected. And once I deselect everything, it automatically puts me back. So let's say I select all these. I can just deselect this and this, and then these are all selected. Now the main thing with selected things is you can grab them, and rather than only grabbing one of them, you grab all of them as a whole. And then you can even stretch them or pinch them to change their size and orientation and everything. It's really cool. Oh, it's a very useful feature for sure. Okay, and then you can move and resize. You can undo. So let's say I move them here and resize them. The undo button, I can undo. You can throw to delete. So rather than only throwing this one, it would throw the whole thing. Just like the cubes or like the guides, and then I think more tools on right. So yeah, this used to be on the video. It's like a little triangle like here where you hold, but they changed it to make it a bit easier where the things are on the side. So basically, when you select something, well, I'd say two things, you can change. These only work, by the way, once you select something. Like right now, only select all is doable. This is not doable, not. So select all, what it does, it's obvious and it's quite laggy. It selects the whole thing. You can see how everything's selected. And theoretically, I don't want to do it because of the lag, but in a smaller world, for example, you could grab everything with two hands, resize the whole world so that nothing gets specifically affected, and you can even like rotate it and stuff. Now let me turn that off. Then you can do the same. You can do inverted selection. So that means if I select these and then I invert selection, it selects everything except that. I mean, another way to do that would be to select all and then go into deselect mode and deselect those, but it's just giving you more options. Okay, wait, let's move these down here. Select all, yeah, picks everything. Yeah. And then A, okay, so when you're selected something, you can see here there's a little minus symbol, which signifies that it changes to deselect mode if I click the A button. But if I go here and I click the A button, you can see there's a duplicate symbol. That's a known duplicate symbol. When I click it, it duplicates it just above it, slightly away from it. And then it deselects an original one and it only selects a new one. But if I grip it and then I click the button, it just creates a new one and I'm directly grabbing it. So this is an easy way to mass duplicate. And I think that's a really useful feature, which I've actually used once before, but I forgot how you use it, so it's good I went over it. And then Yeah, so when you hover over the selection and wait, grab to grab to move straight to duplication. Yeah, okay, I meant where you can grab it. And then flip selection is the next one. Where if you go on it, flip selection is basically like the mirror tool, except it doesn't duplicate it in mirrors. It just flips it on its middle of its axis, depending on your direction of your head. So if my head is here, then it duplicates from this angle. If my head is here, then it duplicates from that angle. So you can see how it's pretty cool, the way you can flip it, in case you want to change the orientation of it without grabbing it and moving it too much, or if there's just one piece you want to change. Yeah, and then I think I forgot about the group selection. So I'm actually unsure. Let's see. Okay. The course didn't actually show what group selection does. I'm sure I'll explain it very soon. But for now, you can see that it just changes from group to ungroup. We'll see what that does in the future. So that's it for today's update on my learning of Tilt Brush. Until next time. Bye.